The hip-hop world has just been hit by a catastrophic betrayal that is permanently shattering the legacy of one of Atlanta's greatest icons. Imagine building a multi-million-dollar empire from the mud, crowning yourself the absolute king of the South, and cementing your status with decades of iconic, blinding, diamond-encrusted jewelry, only for your own flesh and blood to systematically tear it down in a matter of seconds. Right now, an explosive, frantic panic is ripping through the grand hustle empire after King Harris did the unthinkable. In a legendary move that has left the entire music industry paralyzed with shock, the 21-year-old son has gone completely rogue, publicly exposing his father T.I.'s entire multi-million-dollar jewelry collection as a complete, absolute sham. "All my dad's chains are 100% fake," King shouted during an erratic, midnight live stream that was abruptly deleted after sending shockwaves through the community. The internet is in absolute meltdown as leaked footage shows King doing what no one else would ever dare to do, pressing a digital diamond tester against T.I.'s most historic platinum pieces, only for the machine to flash a blinding red warning of cubic zirconia. The fallout from this ultimate betrayal has turned into a literal blood feud. Insiders claim T.I. is in an absolute, dangerous rage, blindsided by his own son's calculated sabotage. The street credibility he protected with his life for 25 years has vanished overnight, and reports are circulating that T.I. has officially ordered his heavily armed security team to ban King from the family's Atlanta mansion forever. But that is only the beginning of this nightmare. What King revealed next will change how you look at the hip-hop elite forever. To fully comprehend how a father and son could reach a point of absolute, irreversible destruction, you have to understand the sheer weight of the legacy King Harris was born into. Clifford Harris, universally known to the world as T.I., didn't just rap about the trap, he architected a global cultural movement. Emerging from the merciless concrete of Southwest Atlanta's Bankhead projects, T.I. clawed his way to the absolute pinnacle of the music industry through sheer, unadulterated hustle. He pioneered an entire genre, established grand hustle records, and boldly claimed a title that many would have died for: the King of the South. In the ruthless hierarchy of hip-hop culture, a king's crown isn't just metaphorical. It is forged in pure gold, platinum, and hundreds of carats of flawless, blinding diamonds. T.I.'s legendary jewelry collection has always been the visual manifestation of his street dominance. From his massive, iconic grand hustle medallions to his blinding, multi-carat Cuban links, these pieces weren't just accessories. They were his armor, his credibility, and his proof that he survived the trenches to rule an empire. But while T.I. was busy solidifying a multi-million-dollar kingdom, a dark, volatile storm was brewing within his own household. Enter King Harris, a young man born directly into the blinding glare of reality television cameras, immense wealth, and a level of privilege most people can only dream of experiencing. Growing up under the colossal shadow of a self-made legend is a heavy burden, and for King, that pressure has manifested as an uncontrollable, chaotic pattern of public rebellion. For years, the world has watched this father-son dynamic slowly unravel, moving from private household friction to highly public, explosive confrontations. The cracks in the family facade became undeniably clear during a widely publicized, physical altercation at an Atlanta Falcons football game, where King went live on Instagram while screaming at his parents about his upbringing. In that viral moment, King fiercely disputed the family's polished, luxurious image, shockingly claiming he was raised in the mud by his grandmother while his father was away serving time in federal prison. It was a raw, deeply uncomfortable window into a fractured relationship. T.I., a man who built his entire career on the principles of logic, reason, and calculating strategy, suddenly found himself completely powerless against the raw, volatile, and deeply emotional impulses of his own son. T.I. has openly admitted in past interviews that he has spent years exhausting himself mentally and emotionally trying to pull King off the ledge, attempting to guide him away from the destructive paths of the streets that T.I. himself barely escaped with his life. But King has consistently refused to wear a mask for the media. He operates with the reckless defiance of a young man who believes his last name makes him completely untouchable, routinely clashing with law enforcement, engaging in dangerous public beefs with legendary figures like 50 Cent, and flexing firearms on social media. The tension within the Harris household had reached a dangerous, pressurized boiling point by early 2026. T.I. was actively preparing for a monumental pivot in his life, launching the rollout for his 12th and final studio album, ironically and ominously titled Kill the King. It was supposed to be a triumphant, calculated farewell tour, a clean passing of the creative torch to the next generation as he transitioned into a quieter life focused on his grandchildren and his stand-up comedy ventures. But the universe has a tragic way of forcing a reckoning. The title Kill the King was meant to symbolize T.I. willingly laying down his own crown on his own terms. He had no idea that his own son was sitting in the shadows, quietly sharpening a blade, waiting for the perfect moment to execute the ultimate act of betrayal. The atmosphere in Atlanta was already tense on the night of June 11, 2026, but no one could have predicted the digital nuclear explosion that was about to take place. It was exactly 1:47 a.m. when King Harris abruptly went live on a backup Instagram account. The broadcast had no caption, no warning, and no music playing in the background. The visual was immediately jarring. King was sitting inside T.I.'s private, high-security walk-in vault at the family's sprawling Atlanta mansion, a room that requires biometric access and houses decades of historical hip-hop artifacts. Viewers watched in absolute, stunned silence as King panned the camera across a velvet-lined display case containing T.I.'s most legendary, multi-million-dollar jewelry pieces. There it was, the iconic, massive Grand Hustle emblem chain, the historic diamond-encrusted crown medallion, and the heavy, custom platinum chains T.I. had worn on Billboard charts, red carpets, and historical music videos for over 2 decades. King's eyes were bloodshot, his demeanor frantic, radiating a dangerous mix of unhinged anger and absolute adrenaline. "Yo, the internet thinks my dad is this untouchable street legend," King whispered aggressively into the camera, leaning dangerously close to the screen. "They think all this ice means you're the king of the South. It's a lie. The whole industry has been fooled. The family has been living a lie. Tonight, I'm showing you the real truth about the multi-million-dollar Grand Hustle empire." Before the viewers could even process what he was saying, King pulled a professional, digital diamond tester out of his pocket, the exact high-end model used by luxury jewelers to verify precious stones. He reached into the display case and grabbed T.I.'s centerpiece, the massive, historic Grand Hustle medallion that has symbolized Southern rap royalty for a generation. With millions of people watching in real time as notifications flooded smartphones across the globe, King pressed the metal tip of the tester directly onto the prominent, center stone of the medallion. The room was deathly quiet except for the low hum of the live feed. For 3 agonizing seconds, the device calibrated. Then, instead of the high-pitched, continuous beep that signifies a real, authentic diamond, the machine emitted a harsh, robotic, descending tone. A bright, warning red light flashed violently across King's face. The screen on the tester displayed 2 words that instantly shattered 25 years of rap history: cubic zirconia. "Fake," King screamed, his voice cracking with a terrifying blend of laughter and pure malice. "Look at it. Cubic zirconia. Fake ice. The king of the South is wearing glass." Frantic, King grabbed another piece, the custom platinum link chain T.I. wore during his iconic performance just months ago. He slammed the tester against the stones. The machine flashed red again. Synthetic moissanite. He grabbed the historic crown ring. Red light. Glass. Piece after piece, decades of hip-hop history were systematically tested on camera, and piece after piece, the machine repeatedly failed to detect a single real diamond. King was throwing the jewelry across the room, smashing them against the marble floor, completely exposing his father's most prized possessions as cheap, worthless replicas. The live comment section turned into an absolute, chaotic war zone. Millions of fans, rappers, and industry insiders were watching the destruction play out in real time. Shocked viewers were typing in disbelief. "No way T.I. has been flexing fake chains for 20 years." While others wrote, "King just completely ruined his dad's life live on camera." The stream abruptly began to distort as loud. Heavy footsteps could be heard echoing from the hallway outside the vault. The heavy steel door was violently thrown open, and a voice instantly recognizable as T.I.'s boomed through the audio, laced with a level of raw, unadulterated panic and fury that has never been heard from the rapper publicly. "What the hell are you doing in here? Shut that phone down right now." T.I. roared, his shadow overtaking the frame as he lunged toward his son. The camera violently shook, capturing a brief, terrifying glimpse of a physical struggle before the live stream was instantly cut, leaving a black screen and an entire global audience paralyzed in sheer disbelief. Within minutes of the stream being cut, the internet went into a complete, unprecedented lockdown. The video was instantly deleted from King's profile, but it was already too late. Screen recordings had already saturated every corner of social media. But then came the first massive, unexpected twist that turned this family drama into an intricate, terrifying conspiracy. At exactly 2:30 a.m., a notorious hip-hop underground blog posted a series of leaked, high-priority text messages allegedly exchanged between T.I. and his longtime master jeweler just 3 weeks prior to the live stream. The leaked screenshots revealed something far worse than T.I. simply buying fake jewelry to look rich. The messages showed that the real, authentic, multi-million-dollar diamond chains had actually existed, but T.I. had secretly, desperately ordered exact replica duplicates to be made in cubic zirconia. Why? Because according to the leaked texts, the real diamonds had been quietly liquidated and sold off in secret to pay off an unpayable, massive legal debt connected to the looming, catastrophic federal lawsuits that have been quietly threatening to bankrupt the items of the Harris estate for years. T.I. hadn't been flexing fake jewelry out of vanity. He was using replicas to desperately hide the fact that his entire empire was completely broke and collapsing from within. The morning of June 12, 2026, brought a digital scorched earth reality to the hip-hop community. The leaked text messages, combined with King's frantic live stream, completely dismantled the carefully constructed image of Grand Hustle Records. The narrative was no longer just about a rebellious son acting out. It was about the potential, catastrophic exposure of a multi-million-dollar financial fraud at the absolute highest levels of the music industry. By 9 a.m., the scandal had escalated far beyond the confines of gossip blogs. Major financial news outlets and mainstream media platforms were picking up the story, asking the ultimate question: is the King of the South completely bankrupted by his legal shadows? Social media platforms were experiencing unprecedented traffic as the hashtags #FakeChains and #GrandHustleCollapse trended #1 worldwide. The industry backlash was immediate, ruthless, and cold. In the hyper-competitive, braggadocious world of hip-hop, flexing fake wealth is considered the ultimate, unforgivable sin, a lethal blow to any claim of street authenticity or legendary status. A prominent, verified Twitter thread from a high-profile industry insider went viral, stating, "If T.I.'s chains are proven to be replicas, his entire catalog loses its gravity. You can't rap about being a king when your crown is made of cubic zirconia. This is a wrap for his legacy." The reaction from the celebrity world was swift and devastatingly calculated. High-profile rivals and former associates immediately seized the opportunity to dance on the ruins of the kingdom. 50 Cent, who had just spent the early months of 2026 engaged in a bitter, personal war with the Harris family, took to Instagram to drop a series of merciless, mocking posts. He shared a high-definition screenshot of King Harris holding the red-flashing diamond tester, accompanied by a caption that read, "Damn, tip. I told you the game is called Kill the King, but I didn't know your own kid was gonna do the hit. You sold the real ice to pay the lawyers? Blew the whole budget on replicas. This is nasty work." Surviving T.I. and Tiny is looking more like a financial documentary now. At King Harris, call my office. I'll buy you a real chain, lil bro. The public humiliation was intensifying by the minute, but the walls were closing in internally as well. At 1 p.m., a leaked internal email from Epic Records, the powerhouse label slated to co-release T.I.'s highly anticipated final studio album Kill the King, was anonymously dropped on a public forum. The emergency email revealed that top-tier executives were holding high-level crisis meetings regarding the future of the album's rollout. According to the leak, major retail partners and streaming platforms were expressing extreme hesitation about heavily promoting a project surrounded by such a massive, integrity-damaging scandal. The email explicitly stated, "The financial implications of the current controversy are severe. If the artist's core asset metrics are compromised, we must evaluate delaying the August release indefinitely to protect market investments." Just as the global audience was trying to wrap its head around the imminent cancellation of T.I.'s final musical statement, the second, completely unexpected plot twist dropped like a tactical bomb, entirely changing the narrative and turning the situation into a dark psychological thriller. At exactly 4:15 p.m., King Harris appeared on a cryptic, brief audio space on X. He sounded completely terrified, speaking from an undisclosed location with heavy wind noise filtering through his microphone. He didn't sound triumphant anymore. His voice was trembling with pure panic. "Listen to me. The internet has it all wrong," King stammered, his breath ragged. "My dad didn't sell those diamonds to pay off legal debts. He didn't liquidate the collection. The real chains weren't sold. They were stolen. They've been missing for 6 months. My dad made the replicas to cover up the theft because if the streets found out the King of the South got his vault cleaned out by insiders, it would have started a literal war in Atlanta." The audio space instantly crashed as over 500,000 concurrent listeners flooded the server, but King's final words hung in the air like a suffocating fog. He claimed that the real jewelry collection, worth an estimated $4 million, had been completely targeted and wiped out in a sophisticated, internal heist. And the reason he used the diamond tester on the live stream wasn't to expose his father's poverty, but to prove to the world that the people currently managing T.I.'s security infrastructure were actively lying to him. But this reveal raised a terrifying, dark new question that left the audience in absolute suspense. If the real multi-million-dollar diamond chains were stolen 6 months ago, and T.I. went to such extreme lengths to hide it, who exactly has the real ice? And more importantly, what will they do with it now that the secret is completely out? The global hip-hop community has been thrown into a state of absolute, unprecedented civil war. King Harris's terrifying revelation that T.I.'s real, historic jewelry collection was systematically stolen in an internal heist has completely split fans, commentators, and rap purists into fiercely opposing factions. The comment sections of every major music platform have transformed into digital battlegrounds, with millions of people violently debating who is the villain and who is the victim in this tragic rap saga. On one side of the digital trenches are the fiercely loyal grand hustle purists. They are aggressively defending T.I., framing him as a tragic, Shakespearean patriarch who is being systematically destroyed by a reckless, ungrateful son. T.I. is a literal pioneer who gave everything to Atlanta and built a multi-million-dollar culture from scratch, one prominent fan wrote in a viral Reddit post that garnered 50,000 upvotes within hours. To have his own son go live on the internet, smash his historical pieces, and expose his private security vulnerabilities to the entire world is the ultimate, unforgivable betrayal. King is a volatile figure who is actively trying to get his own father ruined or worse. T.I. was entirely justified in letting his security team kick him out of the mansion. On the opposing side of the spectrum is a massive, vocal coalition of critics, younger hip-hop fans, and underground commentators who believe T.I.'s legendary crown has been completely exposed as an illusion. They argue that the sheer volume of secrecy, replication, and deception surrounding the Harris estate is proof of a fraudulent legacy. The truth is finally coming out, a popular hip-hop YouTuber stated during an emergency live stream that attracted 300,000 live viewers. You cannot call yourself the King of the South, preach about street codes, logic, and authenticity for 25 years, and then hide the fact that your entire vault was cleaned out. If your own son doesn't respect you enough to keep your secrets, it means the structure of your empire is completely rotten from the inside out. King didn't betray T.I. He simply forced his father to look in the mirror. The corporate and industry fallout from this public polarization has been cold, swift, and devastating. Major luxury brands, high-end jewelry houses, and corporate sponsors who have historically aligned themselves with T.I.'s premium, multi-hyphenate image are quietly and systematically cutting ties. A leaked internal memo from a luxury Swiss watch brand that T.I. had been actively endorsing during his 2026 tour revealed that corporate legal teams had officially activated morality clauses to suspend his contract indefinitely, citing extreme reputational volatility. To make matters worse, prominent figures within the Atlanta hip-hop elite are suddenly being forced to take sides, completely fracturing the unity of the Southern rap capital. Legendary producers and legacy artists who have shared classic tracks with T.I. for decades are staying completely silent, refusing to publicly validate either the father or the son. This silence is speaking volumes across the industry. During an intense, live radio interview on a major New York station, a high-profile hip-hop media personality summed up the terrifying gravity of the situation. This isn't a normal rap beef anymore. This isn't about numbers or chart positions. This is a complete, structural dismantling of a legend's dignity. When you lose the visual proof of your power, your ice, your vault, your mansion, your son, you lose the crown. Atlanta is in a very weird space right now because nobody knows if the king is actually standing on solid ground or if the entire kingdom is about to sink into total financial and social ruin. The division is growing deeper by the hour, fueling a fire that is threatening to consume everyone involved. Just when the entire music industry believed the scandal had reached its absolute, catastrophic peak, a final, mind-bending revelation has just dropped that changes the entire geometry of this feud. It is now completely clear that this nightmare is nowhere near over, and the rabbit hole goes infinitely deeper than anyone could have ever anticipated. At exactly 11:11 p.m. on June 14, 2026, a highly encrypted, anonymous file was uploaded to a decentralized whistleblower platform. The file contained an official, stamped police incident report from the Gwinnett County Police Department, dated April 12, 2026, the exact same night King Harris was infamously arrested while driving his camo-wrapped Tesla Cybertruck in a yellow Pikachu onesie. For months, the internet has treated that arrest as a hilarious, viral joke. But the leaked police inventory report reveals a terrifying truth that has been intentionally hidden from the public until this very second. According to the official, verified police document, during the high-speed traffic stop, officers didn't just find a handgun on the dashboard and a THC container in the console. The report explicitly details that hidden deep inside the locked glove compartment of King's Cybertruck was a heavy, black velvet bag. And inside that bag were the exact, original, multi-million-dollar diamond pieces that had been reported stolen from T.I.'s vault 6 months ago, including the authentic, priceless Grand Hustle Master Medallion. Let the gravity of that sink in. King Harris didn't just stumble upon the fake jewelry in the vault on the night of his live stream. He didn't just discover a secret heist. King Harris was the heist. The son had secretly used his biometric access months ago to completely clean out his father's real diamond collection, replacing them with cheap, cubic zirconia replicas to avoid detection while he quietly kept the multi-million-dollar authentic pieces hidden in his own possession. But why would King do something so incredibly extreme to his own family? The leaked report contains a handwritten transcript of King's interrogation at the precinct later that morning, and his recorded words are absolutely chilling. When the arresting detective asked King why he was riding around Atlanta with millions of dollars of his father's stolen jewelry, King looked directly into the camera and said, "I didn't steal them for the money. I took them because my dad is using the family assets to fund something dark. He's putting everything we own into a secret settlement to permanently silence the biggest witnesses before the federal trial hits the courts this fall. If those diamonds stayed in that vault, they were going to be used to bury the truth forever. I took the real ice to make sure the victims actually get their day in court. If he wants them back, he's going to have to explain to the whole world exactly what he was going to trade them for." This explosive revelation completely flips the script. King Harris is no longer just a reckless, rebellious son acting out for internet clout. He is positioning himself as a volatile whistleblower holding a multi-million-dollar leverage piece against his father's deepest, darkest legal secrets. T.I. didn't ban his son from the mansion because his vanity was hurt by fake chains. He banned him because King is actively holding the keys to his complete legal and financial destruction. The battle lines are officially drawn, and the stakes are no longer just about street credibility or musical legacies. This is a literal fight for survival, freedom, and the truth. What is T.I.'s security team actually hunting for? What'll happen when the real Grand Hustle medallion is finally brought forward as state's evidence? The clock is ticking, the tension is at an absolute breaking point, and the next 24 hours could completely alter the lives of everyone in the Harris dynasty forever. This is without a doubt the most insane, high-stakes betrayal in the entire history of modern hip-hop culture. The Grand Hustle Kingdom is actively burning down in real time, and we want to hear directly from you. Whose side are you actually on in this catastrophic family war? Is King Harris a heroic whistleblower protecting the truth, or is he a dangerous son who crossed a sacred line to destroy a 25-year legacy? Will T.I. be forced to address these terrifying settlement allegations publicly, or will the Kill the King album rollout be cancelled entirely as the legal system closes in? Drop your absolute most honest thoughts, theories, and predictions in the comments section below. Let's get a massive debate going right now because the community needs to talk about this. If you want to stay completely ahead of the curve and receive instant, urgent updates the very second the next round of leaked audio or family responses drop, make sure you smash that like button right now, subscribe to the channel, and turn on all your post notifications. Do not blink, because we have an exclusive, shocking update regarding T.I.'s security team and King's current hidden location dropping in our very next video. You absolutely cannot afford to miss what is coming next. Stay tuned, stay locked in, and we'll see you for the next explosive episode.